But he's so misunderstood.
Dude, I'm going to make you defend that logic if you continue to follow this line of reasoning. What else? How many lemon cakes would you throw in Maegor's face?
I would.
That's a trick question. Yeah. Because I'd want to throw more at him. But that's...
He built the Red Keep.
Yeah? Yeah.
I would... lemon cake for that?
That's up to you. I didn't give him one, but...
I'll give him a very stale lemon cake.
Okay.
Wow. I would say I actually don't see the big problems, other than, of course, his personal life and the dispute with the crown over the faith. But yeah, I would say 3.5.
Oh, fuck you,
dude! Oh my goodness!
Were you serious?
Yeah, I would say in the whole scheme of it, he may have caused a lot of problems at its time, but it's actually creating more problems now in the books. Spoilers, apparently. No, we won't do spoilers for that. But yeah, it's making more problems now that Cersei is reinstating the faith militant. So I would say to combat the extensive power of the faith, I think it was a good idea to limit their power, even if it was a bit excessive. Maybe.
I'm just gonna call you Viking Vikram now, because you always defending the bad guys. Oh boy. And Joe, what about you?
Probably 0.275 or around that.
Fair. Well, our Maester does not offer a specific lemon cake rating, but he says straight out that no crueler king ever sat the Iron Throne. So that should give you a hint as to what we're in for, in case I haven't given you enough already. Basically, Visenya, once Aenys dies, Visenya is like, yes, score, and she brings him back from Pentos. He is crowned with Aegon's original crown, not the new one. He also carries Blackfire, which is interesting. Whose sword was Blackfire originally? Aegon's, okay. So it's all downhill from there.
And did Rhaenys have a Valyrian steel sword, or was it just?
No, she didn't. She didn't.
Okay.
It was only Dark Sister and Blackfire.
So Maegor becomes king, and everybody already hates him because he is a polygamist. Visenya is now I'm imagining her as an overzealous soccer mom, and it's really? You get a problem with my kid? Well, we'll just bring it out here. And she basically does that. She basically challenges people to challenge Maegor's right to sit the Iron Throne, and he's taken up. She, both of them, I guess, are taken up by Daemon Morgan of the Warrior Sons. There's a trial of 7, which ends badly for everybody, as these trials of 7 tend to do. Maegor is the only survivor, but he is then in basically a coma or dead for 27 days. When he wakes up, he is nursed by both Visenya and then his mistress, Taena of the Tower.
Oh, she's a piece of work.
She's related to Qyburn somehow.
This is very interesting, yeah. No, she's not the White Worm. That's another one later. That's Daemon's. Yeah, so she nurses him. Maybe there's some magic that goes on there. Maybe there isn't. Who knows? But Maegor basically wakes up and then is like, oh, look, the warrior sons are praying in Rhaenys Sept. And then he gets on the dragon and goes and burns the shit out of them. And kills anyone who leaves the building. So there's a massive slaughter. And it's like, yay, welcome back. We're so glad you're alive.
Do you think he was really dead during that coma and he was brought back to life? I saw that theory around.
No, I don't. because I think that some of the evidence for that is the monster baby that we'll talk about in a minute. But he, first of all, we've had Targaryen evidence of that already, and even though this is definitely, it's definitely notable, but 27 days, like that's too long. Like I would maybe say that
they didn't really have any sort of treatment for that. He was probably going to die, and then suddenly he wakes up when she starts to treat him. Sounds suspicious.
I like it. Let's go with it.
I'm definitely open to there being magic involved, like absolutely, but I don't think he was dead.
If he would have died right then and there, who would have been the next king?
Would have been Viserys, right?
No, it would have been Aegon.
Aegon was still alive.
Oh, Aegon was still alive then. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because he would have died before he could have killed them, basically. And then he basically just goes on a rampage against the Faith Militant. There's a battle at Stonebridge, which then becomes Bitterbridge because everyone dies. There's another fight at Green Fork, and basically just Maegor is just like cutting his way through the Faith Militant, and because faith-based armies are hard to shrink because they tend to get bigger the more you kill them. It's like he's done a lot of slaughtering, but there's still a significant problem. At the same time, so we can focus a little bit more on this Taena of the Tower Lady, who has done a lot of interesting things. She was a tavern dancer from Pentos. She is called the King's Raven, which is kind of cool, actually. She orchestrates the fall of the Harroways, who is the Harroway was his second wife, like the one he married in addition to the first one who wasn't giving him any kids. She basically convinced Maegor that like this Harroway woman was like whatever, doing bad stuff, and he had like all the Harroways murdered. She like tracked down Rhaena Targaryen, who was married to Aegon at the time, and like had her married to him. She tortured Viserys to death. Our first ill-fated Viserys, by the way, notable. And then later, she, of course, fell from grace and, confessed. I guess this is where people get the magic thing in terms of, like, the babies. She confessed to poisoning all of his other wives and causing the barrenness that they were all experiencing. And then he killed her and ripped her heart out with Blackfire and fed her heart to the dogs. So that was a happy story. Any other thoughts on Taena? This is kind of our first, like, dangerous lady. Or a second, actually, if we count Visenya.
There's, like, this recurring motif of, like, femme fatale women from Essos sort of courting Targaryen kings. There's the mother of Shiera Seastar. I can't recall her name.
Serenai, I think, or something.
Yes, thank you. Serenai of Lys. And then the lace serpent in Duskendale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's her, and there's also Daemon's White Worm. It's all, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them. There definitely is a lot of them. It's all very interesting. I mean,
I think I've been just some prejudice against because there were women and from Essos, so in Westeros they would get a lot of. They would get.
Prejudice from Westerosi people. I can see that. Yeah, that might be.
I do see that, and I think it's definitely a valid thing to consider. But at the same time, it feels like there's like no smoke without fire in this case. Like
yes, not in this case, but the others.
Yeah,
that were meant.
That's true. Yeah, the one I probably feel most bad for is the one in Duskendale, because that I mean, she just seemed like a normal woman who was ambitious, you know.
That was so horrible.
Oh god, that'll be fun when we get to talk about that. Corollary to Taina the Tower, Maegor, again, continues to not have normal babies. They are eyeless. This is repeated several times. Some of them have wings. I don't know if any of them have, like, black holes in their hearts where, like, others did.
Didn't they say they were hermaphrodites too?
Yeah, some of them were hermaphrodites. I mean, it's as weird as the Targaryen monster babies get, this is it. And
did you say before that there were other examples of this, or that this was the first one that we got?
but this is the first one. I mean, this is the chronological first one, but we had the Rhaenyra's daughter. We had Dany.
Oh no, I know, yeah, but I didn't know if you meant there was one before this.
Oh, no,
That's
no,
because
no.
I made a note here, like first, deformed babies. I figured it started here.
Yeah. Chronologically, this is the first time I think that we've heard. Although, was there anything in the Valyrian section about that? I don't remember.
Nope, not
Not
inside.
mentioned.
Okay.
Nope.
Darn, that would have been helpful. There are, I don't know. Do we want to talk about all of the women? There are a couple of, in addition to like the like femme fatales in this book, there are a couple of lists of just like sad women. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about them.
Let's talk about the sad women.
All right. Where is this list? Let's get
The Black
Right.
Brides.
the Black Bride. Well, some of them are the Black Brides. Not all of them are the Black Brides. There's the first wife, Cerise of House Hightower. Again, Hightowers. I don't like those guys. I don't know why. I just don't.
Because Alicent? That's why.
Yeah, because Alicent. Yeah, basically. And Otto.
She's hot. She's
go ahead.
hot.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah.
Not relevant. Not relevant.
Why not?
Because
I
everyone else dies.
Magali Villanueva is very, very skilled at drawing attractive women. That's all I'll
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, them wives though.
Well, some of these look like photographs. Honestly, this is page 59. If anybody's interested. So we got Cerise Hightower. This is the you can't marry your niece bride. The Prince Maegor claimed to have consummated their marriage 12 times on their wedding night, but no sons ever came of it. He started taking.
I believe him after 3, but when he's like, "Yeah, guys, we did it 12 times," I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, Maegor."
Right? Like, calm down, dude. She died allegedly of natural causes, but may have been killed by Maegor. I hope she died of natural causes for her own sake. Next was the bride, the polygamy bride. I'm sorry, did someone want to say something? No?
No, I
Okay.
was just saying that was not likely she died of natural causes.
That's true.
Natural causes, sorry.
That's very true. Probably not likely. Next was Alice of House Harroway. Hey guys, do you remember hearing much about House Harroway in Song of Ice and Fire? Me neither. Wonder why. Some of these houses definitely don't recover, I think, from these instances.
They've got a town though, right? Isn't there like a Harroway town or Lord Harroway's town?
Is there?
So they still got a town.
Oh, okay.
Wikipedia.
So she should have been the mother of Maegor's first child, but she lost the babe. What was expelled from her womb was a monstrosity, eyeless and twisted, and in his fury, Maegor blamed and executed, of course, her midwives, septas, and the Grand Maester, and Grand Maester Desmond. Taina the Tower convinced the king that the child was the product of Alice's secret affairs, however, leading to the death of Queen Alice, her father, and his hand, the Lord Lucas. I'm sorry, her father was the hand. And every Harroway or Harroway kinsman King Maegor could discover between King's Landing and Harrenhal. Harrenhal's cursed. Strike 2. Lord Edwell Celtigar was named hand after. The next bride is Tyna of the Tower, we've already...
I just want to note from the wiki that they don't exist anymore, the Lord Harroway's town is right now in the books ruled by the House Root. So yeah, just wanted to say that. So no Harroways, but Roots instead.
Nice.
Cool. That does not surprise me, since it seemed like he literally killed all of them.
Yeah, well, I think so.
So next, we get to the Black Brides, which is really fucked up. Basically, Maegor was just marrying women. He killed their husbands. These women had to have children already because he needed to prove that they were fertile. Either Maegor literally killed them himself, or they had been killed in his wars or whatever. First was Eleanor of House Costain. Also, don't recognize that house name. He killed her husband because he accused him of conspiring with Jaehaerys. That wasn't true. She also had a stillborn abomination that was born eyeless and with small wings, but she was lucky, so she actually lived past Maegor. Rhaena of House Targaryen, who was Aegon's wife, when he was killed, which I don't think we mentioned yet in the timeline, but that's fine. Married her. She also miraculously managed to survive. And then Jane of House Westerling, who was tall and slender. Hint, hint. Or not. I don't know.
Just to note, the Costains are still around.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, one of them, I just checked the wiki too. One of them was one of the singers at Joffrey's wedding, and Sam actually, their ship sails around the Three Towers, which is their hometown, on his way to Old Town.
Cool. So we have this Jane Westerling lady who,
That name's familiar, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
She is tall and slender. Have I said that before?
I only know Talisa.
Wash your mouth out, dude. She had her baby by Maegor 3 months too early. And another stillborn monster was born, and then she died. So, yeah, this sucks. While I was listening to this, I was just like, I need a break. It's like so much. But yeah, any thoughts on the brides of Maegor the Cruel?
I was just thinking. So does this mean now that every stillborn birth, every misfigured is a poison? Is a poison baby, or is it something even more malicious behind it?
You believe that accusation?
I wouldn't know. It might be. If somebody confessed to it, you have to at least explore that avenue.
That sounds like a confession under torture to me.
It might have been a coincidence. No one poisoned Daenerys or Rhaenyra that I know.
Well, how about the Maggie? What's she called?
Okay.
Mirmastur.
But
Yeah,
that's
but that's
magic.
right. I was thinking that it could be like something like an actual gene or something passed down, but Maegor, none of his children survived to have children, so I think it just has to be something in the Targaryens already that dates back to their weird dragon eugenics that was brought up before.
Hashtag
Sure.
Tyrion Targaryen.
Yeah, that's probably a thing.
Yeah, it's probably a thing. So when he's not impregnating women and then killing them, Maegor also made time to complete Maegor's Holdfast. Then we have the wonderful, wonderful, heartwarming story of feasting the builders and stonemasons and architects and all that for like 3 days.
That's why I give him a lemon cake is because he feasted them for 3 days before he murdered them all.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's new information because all we were told is that he killed them all after they built it, but he feasted them for 3 days.
Yeah. You know what? When you only get part of the story, you only get part of the truth, and part of the lemon cake.
And there was that good line in Archmage Gildane where he was trying to build the dragon pit. It says, so perhaps surprisingly, it would prove difficult to find builders, stonemasons, and laborers to work on the project.
So the illustrious dragon pit was built by prisoners, most of whom were probably innocent, given what goes on with this particular guy. Then we have a couple of rebellions, unsurprisingly. In 43 AC, Aegon rebels. There's the battle beneath the God's Eye in which he dies, which is how Rhaena comes to marry Maegor. In 44 AC, this isn't really a rebellion per se, but Visenya dies, which completely does not seem to faze Maegor, apparently. And Queen Alyssa, who was also Aegon's wife? Hang on. How many women have I described?
Aenys wife.
Oh, Aenys wife. Okay, right. I wrote that wrong. Was Aenys wife also fled, and that's when Maegor had had this, what's her name, Taena lady, torture Viserys to death over like a week. Then we have Jaehaerys. Then we have like the real rebellion, which is in 48 AC. Jaehaerys rebels. Queen Rhaena joins him. You've got Dreamfire. She brings him Blackfire, and basically Maegor calls a council, but most of the lords are like, haha, hell no, and so basically it just doesn't work. He has only minor lords there, and then he dies on the Iron Throne, like stabbed to ribbons, which we still don't know who killed him, but we're just thankful that they did. The Maester posits that he killed himself, but I don't know.
I believe the Maester on that one.
Yeah. Intentionally, or was he just like having like a fit on the Iron Throne and...
What, like a hissy fit?
No, like I could see him like just thrashing around and in frustration.
He didn't have any support anymore. It seems like he was the kind of guy that wouldn't suffer defeat like the Maester said.
Yeah, but then why didn't he just kill more people? Like, that seems to be his MO, you know? Like, it's not going right. Okay.
It hadn't worked before.
Well, he seems like a Macbeth-esque character who would not play the Roman fool and fall on his own sword and go out guns blazing. So I sort of doubt the suicide narrative.
Yeah, I don't think he killed himself either. I like the idea that one of the Masons survived and like crawled out of the wall, killed him, and made it look like a suicide.
I actually like the idea that the Kingsguard killed him. But that's my personal theory. He also looks like a vampire in this picture.
Yeah, this is one of the pictures when I first got the book, and I was just flipping through. It was like, he did lose a lot of blood from all those cuts, but it's also weird because it looks like there's he's sitting in the Iron Throne, but it looks like there's a barb sticking out of his throat. So, like, why would there be a barb sticking out of the back of, like, where you just sit against?
Oh,
like,
there is.
There is, isn't there?
Bizarre.
It's
yeah.
like he's, like, cut in half. But,
yeah, that's not a suicide.
Well, this is an artistic interpretation. So
but you do know that everything went through George.
Not everything, most of them.
Yeah, no, the art is not canon.
He might have fallen and... Well.
No, but Greg's right though. Like I know Aegon was like making a big statement with this Iron Throne thing, but you don't put like a sword right where your neck goes, like pointing like horizontally. Anyway, let's turn the page and move past Maegor the Cruel.
We're done with Caligula. We're on to Claudius.
Okay, so that's Caligula. Yeah, you think?
Is he Caligula?
Well, there's a couple little things like he was sick for 40 days or whatever, and then when he woke up, he went completely crazy because Caligula actually had this fever, and then people thought he was going to die, and then when he broke out of the fever, that's where his like madness really started. So that's and just all the the evil shit he did, because Caligula had sex with his sisters, and had some weird bedfellows as well. But just watch the movie with Malcolm McDowell and a lovely Helen Mirren. You'll see her in some roles that you haven't seen before, probably.
Roll.
Some positions.
Yes.